A leaked report by Israel's intelligence service Mossad suggests that the country's prime minister and his own spies are at odds over Iran's nuclear capabilities. Benjamin Netanyahu said in 2012 that the Iranians were a year away from being able to make a nuclear bomb. But the Mossad document contradicted the assertion. Middle East analyst Meir Javedanfar told us that this apparent discrepancy is nothing new.
Both believe that Iran wants to have the option of making a nuclear weapon, but Netanyahu seems to believe that Iran is hell-bent on making a nuclear weapon. However, according to these reports, the Israeli military establishment has stated that the supreme leader of Iran has not yet made a decision to assemble a weapon, that this decision has not been made. And this is just one of the many differences which have surfaced over the year in terms of the differences in assessment regarding Iran's nuclear program between the Prime Minister of Israel and the intelligence services. Another marked difference seems to be that, according to reports, the current head of the Mossad, Mr. Pardo, and the previous head of the Mossad, Mr. Meir Dagan, do not believe that Iran would actually use a nuclear weapon against the state of Israel if it gets one, but Netanyahu seems to completely differ with that point of view. Netanyahu was right by saying that Iran is continuing to enrich uranium at 20%, and that if this stockpile of 20% enriched uranium increases, it will give Iran the option to make a nuclear weapon. But it seems that the way he made it, look, with that diagram, it's as if, Iran's making a dynamite and all that's needed is just enrich uranium and a fuse, and boom, there's a bomb, which is actually not correct. To make a nuclear weapon, more processes are needed. It seems that Netanyahu has undertaken a strategy upon which, by overemphasizing the possible dangers of nuclear Iran, he's trying to keep the issue on the top of the agenda of the international community. It's actually quite worrying because Israel was the first country in the international community to alert the international community that Iran had ambitions to get its hands on a nuclear weapon, and Israel was absolutely correct. In 1990, according to the Washington Post, the Iranians turned to the Pakistanis. In fact, the Iranian defense minister went to Pakistan in order to buy a ready-made nuclear weapon. So Israel was right from the beginning that Iran has had intentions, but Netanyahu is overdoing it now by overemphasizing this fact. Yes, Israel has every right to be concerned about Iran's nuclear program, but no, Mr. Netanyahu should not be playing political games and sometimes exaggerating this threat, because it hurts what is a very credible possible threat to the state of Israel.